Hello, long time no speak, as per usual. We are in Seville, just arrived, and like always, I'm not going to be talking about Seville, I'm going to be talking about what we did previously, the last 9 days I think it's been. So we were flying to Madrid last time, and we got there. Ruby Horton, good friend of mine, has given us a bunch of stuff to do while we were there. She was on exchange just recently there. So we did the national, I've got a list here because there's so much stuff that I've got to talk about. But we did the National Museum one day. I'll try and say it. Museo Nacional Centro de Arte Reina Sofía. Anyway, I'll write it in the comments. We went to this taco al pasta place. It's €1 tacos. Ruby highly recommended it, and it delivered. It was very good. We went for lunch twice there, actually. And then the next day, that night we went to a couple different bars. We were trying to eat dinner, or not eat dinner and just have tapas. It didn't really work because the first place we went to, which was the best one, was called Busca del Tiempo, and they gave you two pints. We had 2 pints each for €5. €5 in total for 2 pints each, and then they gave us one plate of food, and we got too drunk before we had enough food. We went to another place that wasn't too flash, but the next day we went to the palace. Or we did the palace the first day, the museum the second day, but we went to the palace as well. That was pretty cool. Had a walk around, went to the armory. It was fun, definitely. They had a whole army of little people, which I asked one of the it was all in Spanish, but I asked one of the guides, and he later said that just the kids dress up in armor. But it did look funny. And then we went that night. We went to Cafe Berlin, again recommended by Ruby. It was kind of cool. It was we walked in we knew everything in Spain starts later, and we knew to go late, so we went to that place at 1 a.m, and they were still doing salsa, and there was people of all ages, young, old, it was packed. And so we salsa'd for a little bit, and then we mainly just watched because they were so much better than us. But that went till 2, and then the salsa stopped, all the old people left, and then the DJ came on, and then it was just a normal club. And it was really cool. I definitely enjoyed it. They gave us a couple free drinks without entry, so it was good. Then we hired a car, and we drove straight to Lisbon, and where we met Rubos. And it's good to see her, and we met up with 2 of her friends who were in a van, Jamaica and Cameron, and it was originally, I think we were just going to see them for the night and just hang out, but they were going south as well, so we just decided to go camp with them. So we went to a place called, I'll have to read it, Setúbal, which is about an hour and a half south of, no, not even, maybe an hour south of Lisbon, just on the beach. We camped we camped up on the dunes, but literally on the beach. That was really cool. It was kind of busy. We were a bit nervous about camping, but it was fine. And then the next day we got up and we drove to first Evora for lunch. It's an old medieval town. It was all the old towns are really cool. The roads are tiny. We had, by the way, a smart car, which is a 2-seater, tiny little thing. I wish I could show you. But yeah, it was tiny. Lucky it was, because all these streets are so small. And then we moved on to a place. We stayed at a lake, on a lake near a town called Alqueva. I'll write it. And that was really nice because it was fresh water and there was no one really around. And the lake was you could swim around in it. That was a really good night. We set up they had little picnic tables, so we set up some fairy lights next on the van, and what did we make for dinner? I think we just had some sausages. We had Cameron made zucchini noodles, and then we just had a bowl, a lentil sauce on it, if I remember. But the zucchini noodles were good. Also, those guys, me and Chandre didn't go there in our smart car, but in the van they went to this sunflower field, and that was really cool. The photos from there look sick. The next day we drove back to the coast to Porto Covo, and stayed literally like on the cliff face. There was more people around. It was an actual like camping spot. There was like people doing like horse trails, which I was shattered that we didn't do it. But nonetheless, it was cool. And it was actually cold. So like these few days in Madrid, it was a heat wave. There was like, I don't know, like it got to 48 degrees one day. It was bloody hot. And so we got to this cliff face and it was super windy, and it was such a relief. It was like 20 degrees at night. It was like really cold, but like it was so refreshing just to not be in heat. Because previously it's like nights still stay at like 33 degrees. It's like, and in a tent it's just nuts to sleep in. And then not the last night, we kept driving down the coast to a town which is quite popular for surfing, Sagres, if I'm saying that right. Also where the beer comes from. We stayed on the beach Beliche, or on the cliff face near the beach Beliche, which is like 5-minute drive. And it was super windy as well and cold. It was a little bit dusty. So maybe, I don't know, we were in amongst like the shrubs, but we got super dusty. But it was really cool as well. Still really cool. We were the only ones near where we were. And it was fun. It was fun. Then we went on to Lagos. We were originally just going to be one night in Lagos. And Ruby's been there. She worked as a club promoter for about a month. So she knew all the hot spots. So she decided to take us on a bar crawl. We started at where she worked, three monkeys, or cheeky monkeys, 3 monkeys, I think. And we just ended up staying there. She walked in and they all were like, "Oh, Ruby!" jumping on the bar. She gave her free drinks all night, and we ended up staying there because she got too drunk. And then we went to a place called Inside Out, because basically everything closes at 2, and then like 2 or 3 bars stay open later. And it was filthy. It was like very trashy. Lagos is like Byron Bay, or like any of those party cities, like PP Island in Thailand. Just, quite dirty, quite party life. It's cool, but you couldn't stay there for too long. And then we ended up staying there another night because we didn't really see the beaches, because we went out that first night. We didn't do much. So we went along the beaches, and they're beautiful, the beaches in Lagos. They are quite busy though. There was one that we went to that you walk down a huge thing of stairs. It's in like a little cove, yeah. And then they've blasted like a hole through the cliff to get to this other little beach. So it's like a little tunnel. And that's really cool. But it was super packed. We didn't stay there. We just went for a swim. And then we watched bloody Mamma Mia. I didn't like it. Chandre loved it, but yeah, that was it. That was Lagos. We just drove this morning to Seville, returned the car, came to the apartment, and now we're just getting all our shit together. We haven't really showered in 5 days properly, and our bags are a mess because they're just throwing everything in the car. But yeah, I'll try and do another video, sooner than a week's time. But yes, till next time.